So there's that type of fear. And then there's the type of fear that I put out in a graphic. I'll pop that up in a second. Basically 10 or so weeks ago. And it's what catapulted, and I'm still very, very small. So please don't misunderstand me. I'm a small peanut. I'm a kernel, a popcorn kernel type small. When you look at the big picture, I'm just this little, not even a blip. But this is one thing that put me kind of in the stratosphere, so to say, about Candace Owens. And that I believe that they don't hate her, they fear her. Now, this is a different type of fear. This is a fear when you have actually done something wrong. You know you've done something wrong. And then you have fear of the truth coming out, of being outed, of being embarrassed, of losing your reputation, perhaps going to jail, perhaps being sued, all sorts of things that are of this kind of fear. So I put this out 9 weeks or so ago, and Candace actually saw it, commented on it, and I believe she retweeted it. And that was what kind of started the followers that I have. I think I gained 1,000 followers very quickly. And I was like, okay, maybe there's something here. And now it's kind of gone from there. So, and this is going to be segue into what I'm going to talk about next with Andrew Wilson and what that was actually all about and how I knew before that quote. I don't really call it a debate. I don't think it was a debate. There was intentions. There was an agenda is why he wanted that. I'll touch on that. That's the very small part. I'm going to touch on that. But it's how I knew why he was planted in that chair is because of this. Candace Owens has a brilliant mind, was Charlie's dear friend, was inside and around TPUSA, has approximately 27 million followers across her full platform, was smart. I mean, this is a brilliant move to enlist the public. She didn't say, I know everything, listen to me and only me. She put it out there for the world to work side by side with her, and she would be the lead agent. And then there's a whole bunch of people below her disseminating similar information and aggregating her information to bring it out and make it even wider, right? Worldwide tips come in because of the size of her platform and the trust. And she talked about this in the debate, the trust in her that people have in her and in her platform. Anyone will take her call. She's tenacious and instinctive. She's meticulous with detail. And I believe she vets everything. So you have TPUSA, in my opinion, you have TPUSA, all the influencers, multiple governments, and a whole bunch of bad actors that fear Candace Owens like it's nobody's business. Their every single day is to destroy her, to discredit her, to demean her, to silence her, essentially to stop her. Andrew Wilson was not there to debate evidence. I hate to replay the same thing here. I've talked about it, but I mean, I basically have 1,000 new followers that came in yesterday or so, close. And maybe you guys haven't heard this before. I predicted this before the debate happened because I'm trained in this stuff. I'm able to anticipate what's about to happen based on people's actions and reactions. It's very intuitive, a crazy gut instinct. I'm able to put those pieces together and then formulate or articulate is a better word, what I believe is about to happen pretty precisely. It was never to debate. It was to sit in that chair and rile her up and try to get her emotionally charged. Because I think we all know Candace is a passionate person, but it's a controlled passion. And her passion comes out in environments where it's safe to do so. In an environment like that, when you understand what the intentions are of the person sitting across from you, regardless of Patrick Bet-David sitting there, regardless of her 3 people sitting on the other side of the glass or what have you, she understood what that moment was, and she didn't let the moment win. She won the moment. And the minute Andrew Wilson recognized that he couldn't get her, he started applying more and more pressure. and trying to get her more riled up by intensifying things that he was saying. So much to the point that exactly, and I don't believe I'm the only one that thought this. I think a lot of people thought this, to where he directly asked the question. And she was prepared for it because you could see the response. There's no delay in the response. It was immediate. Right after he stopped talking, she jumped right in and answered that question. His question, and I'm paraphrasing, was, do you believe Erica Kirk or anybody over at TPUSA had anything to do with the death of Charlie Kirk? And if he calls him Kirk one more time, okay, it's just everything about the guy is disrespectful. And it comes down to nobody cares about Charlie Kirk that is involved with any of this. I believe that. When I say any of this, I put out a video. It's up on YouTube. You could see it. I don't think that they care about Charlie Kirk. I don't think they wanted Charlie Kirk around anymore. I don't think Andrew Wilson even really knows who Charlie Kirk was, what he stood for, what he was all about. So he calls him Kirk. No respect whatsoever. It's just totally disgusting. And that QR code in the upper right-hand corner takes you right to YouTube. That video is up there where I discuss. I have to carefully do it, but I discuss where I just think TPUSA has gone in a different direction. It's not his company anymore, not just because he's not here. They're doing something completely different, which is against everything he stood for. And that continues to be proven every day. Andrew Wilson is one of the latest bad actors, in my opinion, to come to the forefront because they have tried everything and none of it's working. They're losing. It's a cliche, but it's true. We're winning, they're losing. You hear it all the time in general areas of life. Maybe your favorite sports team. We're winning, the opponent is losing. In the debate, in the argument, in the case against Tyler Robinson, in the case, I call it the case or the human story of Charlie Kirk, good guys are winning, bad actors are losing. They're spiraling, they are desperate, and they're willing to try everything and anything, which is why I'm so concerned about Candace Owens' safety. Because everything to this point, including on Friday, has not worked. When things continue to not work, when you have nefarious intention, you can resort to things that go a step further and really put somebody in harm's way. And that's where I believe this is right now. What could possibly be next? They're already trying to get a part 2 debate. Like what? She's not even going to acknowledge that or dignify that. I don't think. She might laugh about it on her show today, but she's not going to entertain that, I don't believe. And why would she? Not from anybody. If you want to come in and debate, you want to come in and say, hey, look, I have strong disagreements. I put this out the other day. I have strong disagreements with your position, but I'm open to learning more about it. What I would like to do is work together with you and your team and then the whole world, and let's see where this thing lands. I think that she would be open or more open to something like that. But if you're going to come in there and you're going to act a fool like that, and you're going to be disrespectful and shaky Wilson, I call him, dude's like alcohol pouring out of his skins, dirty fingers and all, not even dressed appropriately, not talking appropriately, laughing, condescending, pompous, arrogant. I mean, there's not enough adjectives to describe who and what he is. I took a quick glance, 2 minutes, maybe less, of a live stream that he did last night. It's like, you have to be kidding me. You're back in your 15% of the internet, which appeals to only that 15%. And the other 85% want nothing to do with you because they don't trust you. Before this event, before Friday, 85% of the internet doesn't trust them. Then you go on a national, even a global stage, and you call 100% of women retarded, and you treat somebody like that, irrespective of her being a female. It could have been a male. He would have done it with a male. He did it with a female, and then he laughs about it. You have no case. And it's like, no one can convince me that he did this on his own. He didn't just end up there. He didn't go on Joe Rogan and basically beg for this twice just based on 2 words, Andrew Wilson. No, I don't believe it. Not for a second. I also don't believe he paid $300,000 out of his money. I don't believe that. Not for a second. So that was a disaster.